All right, jotted down a few notes here. What does a really good to perfect credit profile look like? Is the question. Now, I can't say this will never be achieved. Someone out there may have it. But first of all, let's look at the credit scores. Excellent credit scores. The FICO score typically is between 760 and 850. Strong scores across all three bureaus: Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. So if you have a one strong score on one bureau, but the other one's not quite as good, you may want to find out why. If your Experian is great, but your TransUnion and Equifax is not so great, is because different things report to different bureaus at different times, or some may report to one bureau or two bureaus and not the other one. So you may want to check that. Another thing you want is a perfect payment history. No late payments, no collections, no charge-offs, no repossessions, no bankruptcies. Like, people really underestimate how crucial, how vital, how important a great payment history is. Third thing is low credit utilization. You want to keep your overall utilization 10% or less. Individual credit card utilization, maybe about 10 to 15% you can get by with, but you definitely want to keep everything as much as possible under 10%. Basically, if you have a total limits of, let's say, $20,000, you want to have your total utilization $2,000 or less. You also want to have strong credit limits, like multiple credit cards, combined limits of maybe anywhere from 25,000, maybe up to 100,000. Major bank credit cards like American Express, Chase, Capital One, Navy Federal. Want to have some good high profile lenders or creditors on your profile. You want to have age credit history. Age credit history, a good age credit history. I would say average is maybe 5 to 10 years, maybe a little longer. Some have older accounts. That's 10 plus years, 10, 12, 14 years. Those are great. Those are great. And remember how I said that late payments are not good? Well, some lenders, not all, few, especially if you have a good relationship, let's say with a particular bank or credit union, they may look over a couple of late payments if you have a long credit history. If 10 years, 12 years, 14 years, and you got maybe a couple of late payments somewhere in there, they're more than likely going to overlook that because the length and the age of the credit history. You want a healthy credit mix. You want credit cards, auto loans, mortgage, uh, personal loans. You want all of those on there, a mix. It shows the lender that they can handle a mix of credits very well. You also don't want many hard inquiries. You have few recent inquiries, usually under 3 to 5 inquiries in the past year. Excessive inquiries, that can kind of signal financial stress, like you're looking for money to relieve your financial pain. Banks, lenders, they don't like that. Financial institutions, they do not like that. Credit card companies, they don't like that. You don't want to give them any kind of reason to think that you're in financial stress or that you're living off of credit. You don't want them to think that. You want to have strong banking relationships. Like, if you have Bank of America, make sure you have a strong banking relationship with them. Don't just go to a bank and just say, hey, I just needed a place to receive my 9 to 5 job check every 2 weeks or every week. Use their products, use their services. Don't get any NSFs. You know, and when you get your credit profile looking just right, they're more likely to help you out because you have a great history with them. You have a great relationship with them. Not just Bank of America, but I mean, Chase, Wells Fargo, Navy Federal, whomever. And you want to have multiple active trade lines. Usually 5 to 15 active accounts is good. 5, 7, 8, 15, somewhere in that range. Revolving accounts look good too. Revolving accounts look good. And if they're reporting positively every month, that's even better. Mortgage ready profiles, what you want. You know what? Yeah, let's talk about the mortgage ready profile. You want to have a good debt to income ratio, usually under 30, maybe under 40%. You want to have a stable income. That's why a lot of times they want to see 2 or more years of income. If not at the same job, maybe in the same industry. They definitely want to see that. But the more years, the better. If you have the same stable income for 5, 6, 8 years, that's great. That is wonderful in their eyes. But they also want to look at, they want to see responsible spending patterns. Basically, if you have credit cards, what they don't want to see you is maxing them out, and then when it's time to pay, you're paying just the minimum. That's not responsible spending. That's not a responsible financial person there. And you use the credit consistently, but moderately. They want to see that you actually need it at times, but they don't want to see that you're desperate for it. They don't want to see that you're living off of it. And I repeat this once again, in the eyes of credit card companies, lenders, banking institutions, financial institutions, it does not look good when they look at your credit profile and it looks like you're living off of credit. That's not good. You may be able to brag to your friends and your friends and your friends' friends about it, but when you're trying to get business funding, that's bad. That is bad. So typical here, if you want to look at an elite, let's say if you want to look at an elite credit profile, what it might look like might be a 800 plus FICO score, maybe around 8 credit cards, $75,000 in total limits, 1 to 3% utilization. Like I said earlier, under 10% is good. If you can keep it under 3%, that's like elite. 10, 12 years of credit history, usually that really works. Not saying that you can't get certain things if you don't have that length of credit history, but if you can have that length of credit history, man, you're and paying on time, no, very few late payments, if any at all. I'm probably tell you're better than 90% of the country at that point. If you have a mortgage or auto pay or auto loan that's paid on time, that looks good. 0 negatives, less than 2 inquiries. You really don't want no more than 2 to 3 inquiries on your credit profile. Now, we actually know how to remove those, getting removed in 24 to 48 hours. But if you do have them, just make sure it's no more than 1 or 2, because it look like you're searching for something. You ever seen the person that they want a spouse, so they date this person, then they break up with them, then they date that person, then they break up with them, and before you know it, within about a year, they've dated like 5 different people? Well, that's kind of what it looks like when you have too many inquiries on your credit profile. It looked like someone that's dated several different people in the course of a year. That's never good. So if someone was interested in dating you, when they find out how many people you've dated over the past year, that might be a turnoff. Same thing when your financial institutions or credit card companies, whatever, when they look at your credit report and see that you have so many inquiries, that's a turnoff. Anyways, but as I said, you need to get those taken off. We can definitely do that for you. Most lenders, if you approach them with a good credit profile, and let's say your credit score is between 740, 760 plus, there aren't too many who won't work with you. The majority of them will be happy to work with you. It's like there are people out there who have a great credit score, but their profile is not great. Look at your credit report like this. Those of us who, like me, who are old enough to remember when there were actually paper newspapers, but now everything's online. So let's just say an article, right? Let's just say if you go to such and such.com and read this news article, it's going to start off with a headline. That headline would be your credit score. But here's the thing: in order to find out if there's any truth in the headline, what you got to do? You got to go read the actual article itself. That's your profile. So think of your credit report and your score as an article. You have the headline, and then you have the actual article, the details. Anyways, that's what I have for y'all today. I hope this helped. Make sure you're checking your credit I always tell people every week, twice a month, because things change quickly. They change drastically. So make sure you're checking your credit report as often as you check your bank account. Really, that's what we really should be doing. Anyways, thank y'all so much. Have a great day.